Grand Rising, my beautiful people. Hey, soul family. It's good to see you guys. Today I got my notebook because I want to make sure that I get all of my points across. So, first things first, we are going to talk about the mind, body, and the soul. I have brought this up recently in a few of my videos, how we are not the mind, we are not the body, but we are in fact the soul. So, as being a soul, we are an ancient teacher. We are knowledge. That is what our soul is. And with that knowledge and that teacher, we are able to train our mind and our body. The universe gave me the example of Mr. Miyagi. And we all know, I mean, if you've seen The Karate Kid, if not, go watch it because I'm not about to explain all of that. But just as he is a teacher and a master, our soul is exactly the same, and everything that we need is inside of us. Everything that we want, everything that we desire is actually already inside of us. The reason for the desires is to create the desire. And your soul will teach you how to create and master the 3D or the matrix. Now, the matrix is a mindset. Hell is a mindset. Everything that you do is a mindset. So it is something that was programmed into your brain to believe something. And those somethings is our whole lives. Our whole life is created off of a belief system, and 90% of that belief system is not ours. It is programmed from the government. You were born onto this earth, provided a birth certificate, and then you were told you could be at home for up to 5 years until you start school. You are then snatched and taken away from your creator, put into some school that is basically prison, and then you are taught these things. And the first year's great, you still taking naps, you're doing recess, everything's colorful. But then the older you get, you realize the color starts to fade and things start to get really boring, and there is no recess, there is no nap time, and no music. There's just you and a desk. The government really out here making us believe that the going to school, going to work, paying bills, and then maybe having a retirement at the end if your body allows you to have good health until then, depending on your job and your lifestyle. But regardless, they have you believing that this is what reality is. And then they have you believing that at the end you just die. And some people are thinking, wow, that was it. No, we're supposed to come here and we're supposed to create, because we are co-creators with the universe. But most people are scared to death to change and break out of that cycle. Most people are scared and live in fear. If they do something that's out of the ordinary, they do something that's not what everybody else is doing, they're not going to fit in, and they're not going to... People just be scared to be themselves, honestly. But the fact is, that person, anyone that has that feeling, that they want to be something more, it's usually the universe telling you that you are definitely worthy. And you could be the person that creates the next biggest invention. You could be the person that cures all of diseases, because I'm going to just throw this in here real quick as a side note. Everything to cure all diseases, viruses, infections, 90% of the things that you need is right in front of you. Like, literally, your household products could cure cancer, especially the people that do have fresh food, vegetables, fruits, oils, herbs, spices, things like that. If you have that lying around your house right now, look, alcohol, baking soda, apple cider vinegar, the list goes on. I'm gonna just say this to wrap this side note up, that there is things in our houses that they never taught us about. We never knew. So since we don't have any knowledge of it, we don't know. Also, since we don't believe in certain things, we don't know, because we only have a belief system of what they taught us to believe. Only if you go outside the box, outside the programming, are you able to view different aspects of life in general and then take them in as your own. So yes, look, the cure to everything is right in front of your face. All of this. Back to what I was saying. People be afraid to break out of the programming and the matrix, which is all just a mindset. When people say those words, it's just a mindset, because you can't blame anything outside of you, because the outside of you is a reflection of your thoughts and your feelings and yourself. So what you're going through is an experience that you created for yourself. You wanted to solve it, because your mind is always trying to solve problems. You don't need to do that though. But I'm going to explain what a program is in your brain, in your mind. Your body is a computer. Your body is a motherboard. And just like a computer takes in files and downloads, you know how iPhones get airdrops of these huge things and they get it really fast, but it's a huge download, you know? That's how our minds work. So the universe will send us information and people will be like, oh, I got a download today from the universe. This is what this is. Example, say you ask the universe a question. Then all of a sudden, if you're tuned in, I mean, that's the only way that I can explain it, you'll get this thought, and it's like a light bulb moment goes off in your head and everything seems brighter and clear. And then literally in here, and I mean, it happens so fast, but I've got them so many times I can tell you how it happens. I ask the universe a question and I'm telling you, it's like a spark. And you're like, oh. And then you get this feeling, and that feeling then goes up into like it goes up the back of my spine into my brain, and it then is like speaking. It is transcribed, but this is all happening super fast, like at the speed of light. Once you receive the data and it is transcribed, you are then able to act on that. But you feel it. It's a knowing. It's just this, you just knowing. When that happens, my first thing is usually, thank you. Thank you. That is my favorite. And then after that, once you get the information, it can take 10 minutes for me to describe it to you. So it could be like a whole paper, but it only took 5 seconds to receive the download. That's what we mean when we say the universe, gives us information. Now, that is speaking on a spiritual level of getting and receiving data or information from the universe, and everybody on the planet has that ability, because everybody is born with the same 33 vertebrae that go up your spine. We all got a back, we all got a brain, we got physical appearance. Let it go. Physical appearance, it's not real. These are our past selves. But on a physical level, on a matrix level, your brain can also be programmed and you can receive information and data. And that's not always a good thing. Now, of course, not every download or information from the matrix is bad. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'm in tears because the universe spoke to me through a movie, or the universe spoke to me through music, or the music spoke to me through another god, or the universe spoke to me through another God, and someone told me what I needed, or somebody was there when I needed them. What else we got here? School, meeting new people. Not everything I learned in school was bad, because I'm connecting a lot of dots from his story and math and 3.14 and E equals MC squared. That stuff is coming back, but in a whole nother light. I guess I will explain this too. There's not really a such thing as a bad download. It's just different way to perceive downloads, and everything is spiritual first, and the physical is just reflecting back your spiritual thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's why at the end of the day, you're going to have to come together with the physical. It is physical and spiritual coming together to create heaven on earth. Heaven is here. We change our mindset. We build heaven here. So again, nothing can actually be bad. It's only if you perceive it to be bad, it is then bad. Everyone knows what is righteous and what is wrong. You have a choice. That's duality. That's your free will. That's whatever you want to call it in this life. That's what it is. But nothing is actually bad. It just is, because other people have free will and are able to make their own choices in life. They could be doing something that you perceive as bad, but in their life, they're just experiencing. And you don't have to be a part of their experience, or scientifically, we would call it their experiment. Every time you go out into the public, you are being a part of a social experiment. We're always being recorded. We're on the United States of America Big Brother. So if you weren't aware of that, I'm letting you know now. Everything that you say is being monitored, recorded, audited, every part of your life. So there ain't even no reason to lie anymore, because the universe will prove everything about you. There's no reason to lie, because it's going to be brought to light. And whenever I talk about things being brought to light, the government gonna have a lot of explaining to do, because, the more knowledge we get, the brighter we get, and we're the ones that are shining light by speaking our truth. So then the government's gonna be like, oh yeah, slowly but surely try to tell us the truth, because they know if they just came out and told us the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, like they want us to always do, if they did that, they know that we would literally burn this place down. We would be inferior. We would be enraged. That's why we're going through the awakening process like we are. So we don't burn this mother effer down. But it's gonna slowly happen, but surely happen. We're just going to finally have all the knowledge we need to rebuild. I'm gonna add this in here like I always do. The only way that we are going to rebuild is by coming together. What is that song? Come together, right? Something like that. Anyways, we gonna have to be a family. We gonna have to unite. And some of y'all be mad because y'all think that for some reason you are better than somebody else. I'm still not understanding that. Like, nobody's out here smaller. You're just on your journey, and I'm on my journey, and that person's on their journey. So we're all learning here. We're experiencing or experimenting, because that's what life is. It is an experience, aka experiment, and you are the chemist. You are the alchemist of your life. You are the magician. You're all of that. You the healer. You're the healer. You're the teacher. You're all of the above. Speaking of, experiments and experience. Speaking of experiences, sometimes we gotta go through things. This in my notebook. We go We go through things so that we can solve them. Let me tell you something about the ego. The ego, the mind, is always trying to find something to solve. That's why meditation be so great, and being able to be still and be peaceful without the ego always creating these issues, because you could be having a bomb day and then here comes the ego you. Oh, you have a pimple on your face. Nobody noticed the pimple at all. Nobody. But then now all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, I have this pimple on my face. Nobody notices it but you. But now all of a sudden your mind creates this huge issue. And then come 30 minutes later, oh my God, what's that on your face? You created that problem. The ego does that all the time. All the time.